God is tender love. Love is what keeps us healthy and that which keeps us happy. When we feel fear, well, we don't then experience love, do we? Fear keeps us away from love. It's like a barrier. And when we are in that space of feeling afraid and feeling fearful, then we cannot experience health and wholeness in life. Then what can we do? What we can do is this. The Bible calls it resting in the Lord. To rest in the Lord is to calm down, to calm our thoughts that are often racing, to calm our worries, to calm our concerns, and then take a moment and to give it all to God. And by releasing it to God, then we are free again to experience love. The love that keeps us healthy, the love that keeps us whole. We need this love, and God is always present to give it to us. And now, Ruben Quatrona.
By sight, no gracious words we hear from him who spoke as none has spoke, but we believe him here. We may not touch his hand inside, nor follow where he trod, but in his promise we rejoice and cry, my Lord and God. Within, O Lord, our unbelief, and may our faith abound to call on you when you are near, and seek where you are found. That when our life of faith is done in realms of clearer light, we may behold you as you are, with full and endless sight. We walk by faith and not by sight, no gracious words we hear from him who spoke as none has spoke, but we believe him here.
There was a farmer in Norway who invited a group of people to come see his farm. And on this farm he had sheep. Sheep in a great big field. And he decided to do a test. He taught the people how to call the sheep, just like he does. And they did a test. So the first person went out and did the sounds that the shepherd had taught her, and the sheep did not respond. They just kept on eating the grass in the field. And then the second person went out. That second person did the same sounds, and the sheep ignored the second person just as they did the first person. The sheep did nothing but continue eating the grass. Then the shepherd went out to the fence and made the same sounds as he had taught the other people. And as he did, the first thing that happened was that the sheep who were eating the grass, they shut their mouths. They didn't do anything. They became completely still. And then after a couple of more seconds, their heads, which had been turned down to look at the grass, Suddenly, all of their heads, all at once, they lifted their heads, and then after a few more seconds, they went running, all of them running towards the shepherd. They knew his voice. They had learned to recognize the shepherd's voice. In the Bible, Jesus talks about being the good shepherd. And he says the sheep know his voice. Just as those sheep in Norway, sheep have to learn to recognize the shepherd's voice. I think the sheep have to learn, first of all, to distinguish the voice of the shepherd from all of the other noises in nature. And the sheep also have to learn to recognize the shepherd's voice from the voice of other people. They have to learn not to be distracted by these other sounds and by these other voices. For us, we have to learn to listen to the voice of Jesus, because there's so many other sounds and there's so many other voices that would distract us. I think it takes time. It takes time to learn to hear the voice of Jesus, because we get distracted by those other voices. The voice of fear often distracts us, and it causes us so much worry, and then we focus on that voice. Then there's the voice of judgment, that voice that often sends us the message. That message is, you're not really worth it. And then there's the voice of negativity, that voice which always tells us that the worst is going to happen. We get distracted by these voices. And when we're distracted by these other voices, we do not hear the voice of the Good Shepherd. We need to learn how to distinguish all the voices and focus on the voice of the Good Shepherd. When we hear the voice of the Good Shepherd speaks of peace. There is a calmness in the voice of the Good Shepherd. And the calmness of the voice of the Good Shepherd calms us when we experience fear, concerns, worries, and anxieties. And the voice of the Good Shepherd tells us that we are so valuable, that God sees something in us of great importance, and that God created us to live out a purpose in life that only we can live. And the voice of the Good Shepherd speaks of positive things and opens up new possibilities for our own lives. That's the voice of the Good Shepherd. The Good Shepherd always tells us that we are loved, that we are valuable. And the voice of the Good Shepherd always has a positive message, even in times of great difficulty. And we are encouraged by the voice of the Good Shepherd. We have to learn to listen to the voice of the Good Shepherd, to give him all of our cares, worries, concerns, all of the frustrations. If we just give them to him, he is there, waiting to receive these things from us and to give us that which we need. We can trust in God. God is good, and God always wants to give us the good which we need. Trust him. God is with you.